Rabbi,
Yes, Yoma.
verse 6. Ani Roselicro?
Go for it. Yalla.
Verse 6. Okay. Adonai Eloheinu diber eileinu bechoireb leimor. Rav lachem shevet bahar hazeh.
Great. Good reading. Okay, so let's translate it together then. How shall we then translate this? Adonai Eloheinu diber eleinu. Okay, let's just do this part. You can do it, Yomar, since they're being quiet.
We ask the ladies.
Yeah, ladies, you want to try?
The Lord.
He's giving you a chance.
Okay.
All right.
Adonai our Lord,
Yep. Adonai our God. Yep.
our God, spoke to us.
Good. Okay. Now that's correct, but I want you to change your intonation to capture what's happening in the Hebrew. Here's our subject, right? Subject. Oh, I'm in laser pointer mode. You're exactly right. That's correct. But let's make it perfect. Okay? So here's our subject. That's the subject. And here's our verb. What's different about the sentence?
The emphasis is on the subject.
Yeah. So say it again now, your translation. As if you're an actor. Actress.
Can it be Adonai,
Adonai,
our
our
God?
God.
Yeah, great.
Spoke to us.
Yeah, that's right. So exactly what she said, but Adonai, our God, spoke to us. Right? Like now it's Moshe speaking to us. He's telling these descendants, those who were born in the wilderness, who did not witness with their own eyes the things that their parents witnessed. He's saying back then, Adonai, our God, spoke to us, right? So you got to get that emphasis somehow, right? Either in your translation or you're speaking, and I oftentimes forget to do the emphasis. So, so this is not like, so not a hypocrisy thing. I also forget, but just so you know, when you're parsing through it and you're doing the teaching on it and you're breaking it down, there's emphasis here. Usually we would say diber Adonai Elohim, but we have the emphasis. Very good. Okay, so Adonai, our God,
How
spoke
did
to
you
us.
get the?
Huh?
Yeah. How do you get the clue that your tone of emphasis is to be so?
Yeah, well, it's just
Because of that.
yeah, it's just because it's out of order, right? The subject's not supposed to come first. When it comes first, there's emphasis, and maybe that wasn't his emphasis. Maybe he was like, Adonai, our God, spoke. I mean, it could be like, you could have some other kind of emphasis, right? It's just to emphasize while speaking. That's the only thing I can think of, right? To kind of get more excited about the subject. It's not me. It's not me who's speaking now, right? I'm the one who's going to tell you this second law, right? This Deuteronomy, right? But back then, Adonai, our God, spoke it, right? So you have to do it somehow. You could do some other emphasis than what I did. That's just my personality coming through there, right? Someone else could do it another way. You could do it through pause, right? Maybe you just say, Adonai, our God, spoke to us, right? Very calm, right? But I put a pause there, right? So I'm emphasizing that, right? That makes the listener hear, oh, okay. He wants me to think about Adonai, our God, spoke to us, right? So there's different ways you could do it. The nuance, otherwise, we're losing the fact that there's any kind of nuance in the English, right? And most translations, they don't capture it, right? It's not, I don't think you're going to find it in bold or something, or italicized or something. And that's a travesty. That little nuance, that little piece of gold is lost. So just by reversing the word order, we can see that he's speaking to the descendants of those who actually heard Adonai speaking these things, right? Those who died in the wilderness. He's reminding them that little bit of information is captured just by the word order, right? Okay, go ahead. Someone wants to say something?
Yes. What would, let's say if the debate came first.
Okay.
Before the subject.
Okay. No emphasis then on Adonai or God. Or right?
Okay.
If it said, I would just say Diber Adonai Eloheinu. So to me that would infer that they all know this. They don't need to be reminded, right? Ho hum, Adonai our God spoke this, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. Good. It's business as usual, right? Verb followed by subject is business as usual. Now, I suppose you could emphasize in another way. In that case, you could say who. We could add who, and it's called an emphasizing pronoun, right? So I could still express emphasis in this way, but I have to add another word. Okay? So here, let me write it for you. So I could say Adonai Eloheinu Hu. Okay, so I could say, oh, I'm sorry, this person. Diber Adonai Eloheinu Hu. I can add who there. By adding who, he, right? Like just by adding that, there's special emphasis. It's an emphasizing pronoun, right? So you could emphasize it another way and keep the word order as it is, but it takes another word. Okay? That's kind of advanced syntax. I don't want to get confused, you guys. Okay, Bechorev. What's Bechorev?
In Horeb.
In Horeb, he spoke to us, and Ibn Ezra makes sure to clarify that the Horeb is in Sinai, right? If you guys don't make the connection there, Horeb is in the Sinai, right? So it's Lemor saying, Rav Lachem. What's Rav Lachem mean?
Too much for you.
Right, you're great. You're remembering from the conflict with Korah.
Too much for you,
right? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's true. It can be too much. It can be like very numerous, right?
But there's a verb. There's a verb, shevet.
Yes. Well, shevet.
So daw dues
Shevet.
too much. Parang ganun, daw dues too much. Ganun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Can I add regarding the we usually in the Hebrew you just say the verb and the subject is understood, like diber, that's a third person.
Right.
I learned this in studying Psalms 91. In verse 3, the psalmist could say, Ki yatsilka, he will deliver you. But the psalmist says, Ki hu yatsilka.
Nice.
So the who there,
yes.
So it emphasized that it's a very personalized deliverance.
Very
or
good.
In Tagalog, you say, ako mismo, I myself will deliver you.
Yes, exactly. You guys get what he said? So in the example from the Psalm there, from the Yoshev Bashamayim, right? In that example, it's saying you've got his verb, he's got a verb, and the verb already is third person masculine, right? We already know that it's he. He is embedded in the verb. But before the verb, the psalmist writes who. Sorry, I'm having trouble there. At that region, I can't write so well. Who. So we don't need the who. We already know it's he by the verbal form. So it's extra emphasis. That's the emphasizing pronoun. Excellent. Very good example. Yep, that's the same example of this who here. We're saying you could add the who. Yep, he himself. You could also say ani, or ata, or at, or hen, or hema, or hein, or hena. Any of the pronouns can act as emphasizing particles, they're called, right? If the verb already encapsulates it, and you add the pronoun unnecessarily, it's emphasis, right? It doesn't have to be just who, right? A pagan could be talking about his goddess, she did it. Or you could be talking about the queen, right? She herself will do it, yeah? Good.
So Rab, so in Psalm 91, so Kihu Yatsilka.
Yes.
For he.
Yes.
So the emphasis is that.
Yeah.
Kihu, for he will.
He or as Doc said, he himself, right? I oftentimes will say himself, right? Like in Shemot, when Hashem talks about getting us out of Egypt, he says, Ani. So I myself, right? And there's I and not a seraph, right? I and not a seraph, etc. He himself is involved. But yeah, that's great. Exactly what he said. Correct. Nice.
Yeah, actually, that's why in some English translation, it says, he will surely. But,
Ooh, okay.
when we speak surely, that is a, what do you call that? Is that cohortative, the one for emphasis, wherein you repeat the verb?
Infinitive absolute. Infinitive absolute.
Yeah, so you would imagine that the original would use the infinitive absolute.
Correct.
But it did not. It did not use the infinitive absolute, although it was translated as surely. And we know that when you read the English surely, you will imagine that the original would use the infinitive absolute, but it did not.
Very nice.
So that's why. So it used this, emphatic pronoun.
Very good observation. I'm really excited Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I would not translate it surely for the exact same reasons that you mentioned. What they're doing is they're taking the essence of the emphasis and they're trying to do a dynamic translation from it, right? And I think what you're saying, if we want to be pure to the Hebrew, true to the Hebrew, we would not say surely there. You're exactly right because there's a mechanism for that. It's the infinite absolute. Yeah, very good, very good, nice. Any other comments or questions?
So Rabbi, in Psalm 91, there's no not soul yatzilcha.
Right.
There's no surely. There's no indeed.
No.
But in Psalm 1,
wala,
there's a
Jomar.
kiim. But in kiim in Psalm 1, no? Kiim, surely. Kiim betorat Hashem, but surely.
Hold on. Which?
So there's a
Can you say it again? Say the words again. The Hebrew words again.
kiim, Rab.
Like
Kiim
in
betorat
Psalms
Hashem.
1. Yeah, in
Psalm
Psalms
1,
1 verse 2.
Psalm 1, I think.
Psalms 1 verse 2.
Yeah. So this
Adonai
right,
Surely.
right. That's a different mechanism though for expression. The ki'im, yeah, the syntax requires emphasis there because ki actually sometimes translates, and I think you guys know this if you watch any of my my Psalms, the Lekach deep learning on Psalms. Oftentimes ki is what we call the emphatic key or key emphaticum, right? And that's kind of an advanced. So that is another way that you can get surely or indeed. That's true if you have the key in there in the syntax, right? Yeah, true. Good point. Good point. Yeah, but
So Rab, the Psalm 91. So the Psalm 91 is hif'il, imperfect,
okay.
not the infinitive absolute. Right?
Hold on. Let me have a look.
Psalm 91 is not a infinitive
Okay,
absolute.
let's have a look here. Let's have a look.
It-
Psalm
I think
91.
it's-
Which
the-
verse are you on?
Hindi siya Romer. Verse 3, that's verse 3.
Okay. Ki hu yatzil
Verse
lecha
three.
mipo- Yeah, so there,
Verse three.
so there, it's actually hu yatzil lecha, right? So the hu was the emphasizing pronoun that Doc was talking about, and actually, so something like he alone will not seal. He will snatch you up. He will rescue you, right? But we can actually parse here. Let me show you my notes. Let me bring my notes floating. Open a floating window. Okay. Oh. Did my screen turn off?
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Ano, it appeared for a while then
Okay, is it
disappeared.
back now? Can you see?
Yep.
Okay.
You have to enlarge
Let me make this bigger. Okay, can you see? Is it good? Okay. Is it okay now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good. Okay, so look here. You see I have this, I don't know if you can see the green exclamation point here. So that
Yep.
key, that's emphatic key. So we actually do have a double emphasis, right? So I would probably translate this, he himself will rescue you, or he alone will rescue you, something like that, right? Because we got a double, we have an exclamation point here, kind of like in Espanol, you get the upside down one, right? That's what that key is there. And then the who is another emphasis, just like you said, because yatzil already means he will do it, right? So hu yatzilcha is he himself. And now we need to make it even stronger. So it might be like he alone will rescue you. I think that would be a good way to translate that one. Don't look to
and
the
then,
sus, the susim and all that stuff. Go ahead.
And then what makes it very emphatic is the hip il. It's an intensive verb again.
All right, the yatzil. Okay, I see that's what Yomar was getting at. I didn't understand your point yet, Yomar. Yeah, it is in the hifo. Yeah, so yeah, I think you're right. We could look to the intensive form. So we have like a triple intensive. Ki, hu, yatzil, right? Yatzil. Yeah, nice. Okay, any other questions or follow-ups
Okay,
on that
Rab.
one?
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Oh,
Thank
by the way,
you.
just while we're on the psalm, look here at the first word. You see the crown? Do you see that little crown I have in my notes there on the Yoshev? I would translate that as the one who is enthroned. Beseter Elyon, right? So that's like a divine title, Yoshev. He who is enthroned, i.e., he who sits. Beseter Elyon. Yeah. Okay. All right. We got a lot. I think we're good now.
Come again, sorry, Rabbi. Come again, sorry.
He,
With that verse.
yeah, he who sits enthroned.
The previous one slide. Please.
Okay. What are you asking?
The Yoshev.
The previous
It's
slide,
asking
please.
the Yoshev. The
Yeah,
Yoshev.
it's here. No, sir. No, the hipil. It's
Yung yatsil ka.
the previous.
Yeah,
Yatsil
Yeah,
ka.
previous slide, please.
yeah. Oh, okay. A slide or the Bible I put up there.
The
The
Psalm.
previous, the
Psalm.
Psalms,
Oh, okay, hold on. I just closed it.
Psalm,
verse
Hold on, let me go
3.
back to it.
verse
Hold
3.
on.
Psalms
Yeah,
91, verse 3.
open. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I think I can bring it down now. Oh no. Hold on just a sec. I'm trying to make it float. It just says dock. Okay, fine. Dock this tab, and then float. Open in floating window, and then here we go. I think I can. Ah, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble getting it back down.
I'm sorry, Rabbi, we're giving you a hard
No
time.
problem. Let's see. We got a few minutes left here. Okay. I think I can bring it down. Ah, there we go. Okay, and then let's maybe make the whole thing. Okay, verse 3 you're asking about?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
The
Regarding the
yatsil ka.
Oh
Yatsilka,
yeah, Yatzilcha.
Yatzileka,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, it is on Hebrew
Yes.
form,
Yes.
and then it is on Hebrew form because of the patak, and then again, how come there is a PL because of the gesh on the first word? Is that
I
so?
would lean more on the yod.
Is there such thing as combination?
The first word, the key you're asking about?
The
No, the yatsil.
Yatzilka.
The gesh in that sadeh.
Yes. How
Oh,
come
that's
there
the
is the
noon.
guess
The
on
noon. The verb is okay.
Sadi?
Okay. The verb is natsal with a noon. Natsal means to snatch up. To
Ah,
snatch up, like you're
okay.
looking down in the call, to snatch up or to rescue, right? So the idea is like God is looking down and he snatches up,
Yeah,
right? So natsal. So it's a pay noon verb. That's why there's that dagish there. Yeah.
I
Okay,
see.
good question.
Yeah,
Got it?
thank you. And regarding the first one, you've also mentioned, according Dr. De Vera was able to get it as infinitive construct because it's a pay nun lamed hey.
Which word? Which word? Oh, the nacha.
Sorry,
The
it's the
nacha.
verse. The one you got.
Oh yeah. I think it was Yomar got that
Ha.
one. Yeah, the nacha. That's right. When it was the behikato, right? Behakto, right? Like that.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
naha,
right.
yes.
So the noon was
Pay nun
gone
lamed
and
hey.
the hay became a tab. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Nice.
Yeah.
That's why it's infinitive
Uh,
construct.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure.
po.
Sorry for prolonging this, but I think you made a good insight regarding Natsal. It means God is looking down at us, just like what it says also in Psalm 23, that the eyes of the Lord run to and his eyes are upon his people, and then when trouble comes, he snatches us. Is that the idea of Natsal?
Yes. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And then he snatches us up. And actually, you could also understand in that psalm a little bit different too. Yatzilaka could also mean he causes you to be rescued, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to have the emphatic
Yeah.
meaning, right? So he sends help, right? Yeah, like you ever heard the joke? There's a guy on the roof and there's a flood, right? And someone comes along in the boat. He says, come on, I'm here to save you." He says, no, God's going to rescue me. I believe it, right? And this happens again and again and again. And then finally he dies. He goes to heaven. He says, "Why didn't you rescue me?" And God says, "Who do you think sent the boats?" It's like, so he causes you to be rescued, right? It might not be supernatural. It might be his servants, right? His imagery. So, yeah, good. Okay,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because he's the one looking at us and then he sends it. And that's exactly what I think verse 10 says. He says he will command his angels
yes,
charge concerning you.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Very good, very good. Baruch haba. Okay, great. Okay, so I think we're at a good. Oh, let's finish translating. Okay, Rav Lachem, you have enough. You have a lot. There's so many belonging to you, right? Meaning you're big. Shevet. Oh, by the way, one of you asked about Shevet. So Shevet, it's who knows the verb there. This is really tricky. This is really tricky. Can somebody see the verb? We're almost done. We'll just extend a few minutes.
Dwell like Shevet
Well,
Akin
Yes,
Ganyakan.
that's
you,
right. That's right.
Psalm 130,
Right. Very
33.
nice. So the verb is what? What's the first letter in the verb?
Yashab.
Yashav. That's right. I'll write it over here. Yashav. So this is a pay yod verb, and a lot of times that yod, that pesky yod, will go away. So Yashav means he dwelled, right? So this is a feminine active participle singular. So shevet, right? Dwelling bahar hazeh. What's bahar hazeh?
In the mountain.
On the mount, in
In
this
this
mount.
Yeah,
mountain,
This
In this
that's
mountain.
right. So here we have
in
noun.
this
The
mount.
noun is ha, and we have adjective, right? And the noun, notice it's got the. I'm sorry, I have a crack here. I can't write clearly, but I'm trying to circle the comments. So that's the right? The definite article. Hahar, the hay got kicked out by the bait. So Bahar means in the mountain, right? So literally, the adjective, even though it's ze, a demonstrative adjective, it still has to have ha on it, doesn't it? Because adjectives, they must agree in sex, in number, and in definiteness, right? So here we have Bahar, and here, so we have Haze. In the mountain, the this one, right, is what it's saying. In the mountain of this one. So it's nice, correct Hebrew grammar. Okay, any final questions before we conclude?
So, Rabbi, is that mean that's the reason why the shevet is feminine? Is it a feminine?
It's feminine.
Shevet?
It is feminine, yeah. Shevet, it's feminine.
Yes.
Yep.
ee is the active form of the active participle ending in hey.
Yeah, actually, it's actually an infinitive construct acting like an active participle to make it even more complex. So it's very similar to the feminine active participle, but it's the infinitive construct, but it's acting as an active participle. So you see the shevet? Remember I told you infinitive can be kind of fun. So, but he's missing the lamed. He's missing his lamed. So many of you, or there are many belonging to you, shevet. So it's hard to bring into English because it's really something like dwelling, to dwell, etc. Right? Bahar Hazeh, in this mountain. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I misidentified it at first as a active. It looks just like the feminine active participle, singular, but it's not. It happens to be infinitive construct. Because I started looking around, where's the subject? Oh, there's no subject. It can't be feminine, so it has to be infinitive construct. You guys understand? Not infinitive absolute, infinitive construct. To dwell. So literally, the Hebrew is something like saying, many are there belonging to you, or there's a lot belonging to you, or you are numerous. There's a numerous amount, lachem, to you all, to dwell, right? To dwell in this mountain. But that sounds horrible in English, so we have to massage it to make it make sense in English, like dwelling in this mountain, living in this mountain. Okay? Are we good? Good? Okay. So please work through Deuteronomy chapter 1, verses 7, 8, 9, and 10. Try to identify any grammar that you see there, like annotate it nicely, and try to get the translation. Do not look at English, okay? Don't be tempted. Don't look at an English translation or Tagalog or any other language that you know, okay? Try not to look there. When I do my translations, I do that too. I don't look at any English. I might look at the Greek Septuagint sometimes if there's some weird discrepancy with the word, but I hope that you guys will get this habit also, right? This is how we're wrestling with the text. We're truly wrestling. We really want to see what it says and not just go with the translator's opinion, yeah? Okay?
Okay.
All right, Yofi Topi. Good job, everybody. I will be, feel free to put your questions out there in Hebrew Literacy. We can discuss as a group, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
You're
Rab.
welcome. Shalom, shalom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Todah.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Very
Thank you
good.
so much.
Todah Rabbi,
Bye-bye.
Todah Rabbi.
My pleasure.
Thank you.